My name is Aris Haikal bin Asnud. My number matrix is 23 DRM24 F2005.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Kamal. Number matrix 3DRM24 2016.
So, hi guys, my name is Mujahid Ihwan bin Ihwanuddin. My number matrix is 23 DRM24 F 2015. So, I'm going to explain about the SSM. The Companies Commission of Malaysia (SSM) function as the primary agency for incorporating companies and registering business, providing essential company and business information to the public. Furthermore, SSM is ensuring compliance with corporate and business law through enforcement, monitoring and education. The function of SSM is responsible for handling the incorporation of companies and the registration of businesses including limited liability partnership (LLPS). Other than that, SSM provide company and business information to the public, acting as a central repository of data related to registered entities. Lastly, SSM play a crucial role in ensuring compliance with corporate and business law through effective enforcement, monitoring and education. What is LHDN or IRMB? The Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia (IRMB) or Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri is the agency in charge of collecting money for the government. It operates under the Ministry of Finance, which handles government spending and revenue. Who should pay the tax? Individual with single status who receive employment income more than 34,000 per year after EDF deduction, married individual and unemployed spouse who receive employment income in excess of 46,000 per year, individual who run a business even if the business suffer a loss. So I'm going to explain about accounting concept of materiality. The materiality concept is centered around the idea that financial statements should reflect all information that could influence the decision of user, such as investor, creditor, and analyst. Essentially, an item or event is considered material if its omission or misstatement could influence the economic decision of user. What is business entity? The business entity concept is the principle that a business is treated as a separate entity from its owner, manager or any other business venture. This means that the final transaction of a business are recorded separately from those of its owner or shareholder.
Assalamualaikum. Today I want to talk about concept in business accounting. First one is going concern. Going concern concept is a fundamental accounting principle that assumes a business will continue to operate for the foreseeable future. This means that a company is expected to remain in the business and not equate or case operation in the near term. This concept impacts how assets and liabilities are valued and reports as the assumed the business will not be forced to sell asset and distress price for settled liabilities prematurely. Next one is objectivity. Objectivity in accounting is a concept refers to the principle that financial information should be based on solid evidence, free from personal bias and verifiable by independent observer. The objectivity principle is critical to maintain of financial reporting. It means that accountants should be used objective data, invoice, receipts, and contracts when recording transaction. And the information should be supported by documentary evidence that is not influenced by personal opinions and judgment. Last one is money measurement. Money measurement concept in accounting states that only those transactions and events that can be measured in monetary terms are recorded in the financial statements. Under this concept, the value of asset, liabilities, and income is expressed in monetary units. It also means that certain qualitative aspects of the business, such as reputation or customer satisfaction, may not be reflected in the financial statement.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Presantation. I will talk about representative presentation in business. I have invoice, purchase and sales, cash bills, and credit notes and debit notes. In sales invoice is a document issued by the seller to buyer and record to the details of the sale. It may serve as a formal request for payment and is issued for accounting, tax, and record keeping purposes. Invoice sales like a request payment from the buyer, request payment buyer, request a transaction for accounting, and help track sales and customer activities. In the cash bill is a document or receipt issued when the customer made an immediate payment in cash for goods or service. Unlike a sales invoice, which requests payment a later date, and a cash bill confirm that payment has been received in full at the time of the transaction. There is an example of cash bill. Credit note is a document issued by a seller to the buyer, including that the buyer account has been credited for a specific amount. It usually happens when the goods are returned by the buyer, there was an overcharge in invoice. And lastly, debit note. Debit note is a document issued by the buyer to the seller, indicating that the seller account has been debit for a specific amount. Is commonly used when the buyer returned goods. The buyer was unchanged. Additional change to be.
Official receipt. An official receipt is a document used by the suppliers as an acknowledgement of the payment received from the customers and is used in cash transaction. It is normally issued by the suppliers to the customers. It contains the dates, item, descriptions, total value of cash received, and receipt of payment in cash or check. Payment voucher. A payment voucher is a document used by the customers to support payment made by check or cash. It is issued by the customers to the supplier. It contains the dates, name, and address of suppliers, total value of amount paid, serial number of the invoice to be attached with the payment, and the name of the person in charge. Memo. A memo is also known as memorandum. It is often used as a note on certain business events that need to be announced if no other document exists, and it's usually circulated internally and within the business. Check counterfoil. A check counterfoil is also known as a check, but it is part that remains in the checkbook after the check is detached for payment. It is used to record the date, name of payee, and amount paid that has been written on the check issued for payment. It should be kept by the business for future reference and as proof that payment has been made.
Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. My name is Ahmad Imran Umar. My matric number is 23DLS 24F 1009. Okay. Based on the source document, we record transaction in the appropriate books of farm entry. For example, when we buy goods on credit, we receive a purchase invoice and the transaction is recorded in the purchase journal. When we sell goods on credit, we issue a sales invoice and it goes into the sales journal. If a customer returns good, we issue a credit note and record it in the return invoice journal. When we return goods to our supplier, we use a debit note and record it in the return outwards journal. Cash or bank transactions are supported by receipts or vouchers and go into the cash book. Other entries like depreciation or correction are recorded in the general journal using a journal voucher or memo. Each document helps ensure the correct transaction is recorded in the right book, forming the foundation of accurate accounting records. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.